Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Carter James Ranch. We're doing late night edition here out in the sheep pasture. It's lambing season, so I'll turn the light on here in a minute, but just thought I'd give you what the real look like. It's actually a pretty nice night out, temperature wise. It's light, so I'm out here doing lambing checks. We've had 5 lambs in the past couple nights. So I'm gonna turn my headlamp on here. I got my dogs. I got Honey, I got Mac right here, and then here is Indy and Coda back here. So every night we're actually penning the sheep up in netting. We have Mac and Indy that are still young dogs. Don't want to put them in a compromising situation, since they're not, they tend to, sometimes they still like to play with the sheep a little bit. And we've had some lambs, so you can see a couple of the little ones here. But I was trying to turn, I had a ewe that was in labor and she's wandered off on me here, so I'm gonna walk around and reposition and find her and see if we can't get a live lambing birth on video. So I actually got to watch my first lambs being born 2 nights ago. First time I've ever seen lambs being born. We had twins to kick off the season. Seen some calves born, but never seen the lambs. And I don't know if anyone else has this experience. So far, every lamb that's been born last year and this year, everything's been born at night. So pretty crazy. We have a much bigger flock now, so we're going to be expecting a lot more activity this year in the next 30 to 60 days. So let me reposition and find where this ewe walked off to, see if we can catch these lambs. Oh, you know what? She's actually right there. So I think she's just got a little, I think she's just starting going into labor. So I'll pause it for a little bit and we'll pick up the action when something else starts happening. I'll do a quick, say a quick hello to all the dogs here. Just a great evening tonight, weather-wise. Gonna be a little, see, it's Saturday night tonight. It's gonna be a little cold Monday evening and Tuesday evening, so not great. There's Mac, he wandered off. Gonna get down into the mid-20s Monday night and the low 20s on Tuesday night, so we'll need to make sure we get their hay trailers over here and give them plenty of straw and hay and some windbreaks just to make sure. I'm sure we'll have some lambs born that night. So, Honey, you're all right. Yep. She's pushing. She's wandering around. So I think she's probably just started. I got out here about 5 minutes ago, and I think she's just kind of starting. But man, some of these lambs we've had, they are cute. The dogs just took off and were growling and barking. So I've got a flashlight and I've got a headlamp on. Boy, this is one of the best gifts my wife ever got me. It just comes in so handy when you're out at night and you need to use your hands. You just put this headlamp on. So husbands, wives, if you got a spouse or friend or son or daughter, sibling, someone who does work at night and they might need something that they can use their hands for, make their life a lot easier, get them a headlamp. So this ewe is, she's kind of walking around quite a bit. Interesting how different animals give birth. Never seen one walk around as much as she's walking around, as it looks like she's got some discharge coming out. Let's see, it's just her. Yeah, this was her right here. I think she laid down. But you know, there's a very real possibility with as much as she's walking around, we could have multiples going into labor. I actually was counting. We had, I think we had 9 of them that had bagged up. And then you got this one right here. Oh, she was just pawing the ground looking for a spot to lay down in the hay. So just always interesting how each animal delivers differently. So this one's down on the ground pushing. I gotta be honest with you, though, I thought there might have been a different one that was walking around going into labor. But I'm gonna try to reposition, see if I can get a better angle. Okay, that's our gal right there. She just sat down right in that hay. And it looks like we've got some hooves coming out. And I believe she is an older ewe, meaning it's not her first time, so I think we may be looking at multiples. Let's see here, she might get up. So one thing I observed the other night when, yeah, we definitely have some hooves starting to pop out here. The one thing we observed the other night when we watched those twins being born, the first one took about 30 minutes to come out, and then the second one came out really quick. So sometimes it takes a little while to get this first one through the birth canal. And just scanning the rest of the flock. Those little babies are over there. Yeah, doesn't look like anyone else is going into labor. We're about 10 p.m. here, so we're doing checks, you know, one to two times a night just to check on everyone. I mean, you can just tell we got a number of these fat mamas. There's one. Here's another one. We named her Pirate. She has one black ear, so she's ready to go. She's bagged up. All right, she's sitting right there. She relocated, so now I need to relocate so I can see what's going on behind her. You know, one thing I'll say about when you're watching either a cow give birth or a ewe that's lambing, it's always you're always nervous and excited. You know, one you're watching to see, is the presentation right? Do you have hoofs? You know, front hooves, and then a face coming through. And then the next thing is it alive? Can you tell? Sometimes they'll have stillborns. We've never had a stillborn. Yeah, so this one's getting up and down. Yes, we've got, looks like 2 hooves barely poking out. So I think this is going to be similar to the one that we watched the other night, where it's just a slow progression on the first one. We don't like seeing that animal being in that birth canal. So she's pawing at the ground, so she's having birthing pains. These little lambs, they are adorable. Yeah, so she got up and repositioned herself again. You know, one other thing about when animals are giving birth that I'm always cognizant of is being around if we need to assist them, not assisting them too early. You know, I've heard stories where, you know, people come out and they find ewes that died in birth, and you know that'll happen sometimes, and that might have happened whether you were there or not. But just always want to see if there's a problem, and I sometimes hesitate getting too close too quick, because you don't want to mess up their rhythm if they're in one. So, but she's pushing pretty good, and I'm not sure if I'm seeing any progression, so I'm gonna try to get a little closer. All right, so I'm in here, and she actually is making some good progress. It's hard for me to see it. Sometimes a lot easier if they're standing up. Can't tell if it's alive yet, if it's moving. Looks like there's some movement. One thing I've observed with lambs being born too, they're so small, sometimes it's hard to tell from their hoofs to their head. Okay, oh wow, yeah, that thing's almost all the way out. Yeah, so it's alive. Oh man, praise God, that's cool. So she's an older one, so I actually think she may have twins, but we'll see. Let me reposition. Almost out. We got gravity working with us here. So you might not be able to hear it, but I think she just popped it out and she's kind of talking to it. But let me walk around here, try not to disrupt anybody else, and see if it's fully out. Okay, so she just stood up and the back legs came out. So looking at her, she still looks pretty plump, so I wouldn't be surprised if she has one more, maybe two more. But that one is alive. Looks like it's shaking just a little bit. It's not cold. It's only gonna get down to the 40s tonight. Luckily there's not a breeze or anything. There's Mama licking her off. That's awesome. Love it when they hit the ground alive. And Mama's cleaning it off. So I'm gonna sneak around and see. Well, actually, I'll probably cut out and just let this progress for a little while, and we'll see if she is gonna have any more. Break away and say hi to the dogs again. Indy found a little clump of hay. Coda and Mac are over there on some hay, and Honey's just sitting here close to the flock. Really grateful for how good of a job these dogs do. They take work to train, and they sometimes have bad behaviors that you need to break, but man, they sure do a great job of keeping things at bay. So last night, I'm sorry, 2 nights ago when we watched that live burst, she was in the middle of licking off while she started having the next one. So we'll be watching here and see if, yeah, she's still fat, so I know she's got more in her. So we'll check back here in a minute. So as I suspected, as she's licking this one off, we're here about 2 minutes later. You can see her kind of squatting and hunching a little bit, and it looks like we've already got some activity on the next lamb that's going to be coming out. So that's great. Hopefully this one will go pretty smooth and quick. But I'll probably sign off and just try to focus on the flock and get this light off of them. I kind of hate having a light on them. It's like kind of letting them do their thing. But appreciate everyone watching. There you have it. Successful live lamb birth. It's great. Last thing I'll say is it's just really amazing how these animals, they just go about their business and they're quiet, and we're just out here on pasture, and it's just a beautiful evening. So I'll leave you with that sight right there from Paola, Kansas. Appreciate you guys watching. God bless you wherever you're at. Do right in the eyes of the Lord, and we'll see you in the next one.